Howard Mann, creator of Conscious Shifting, and welcome to Conscious Shifting. Before we get started, a quick warning and disclaimer. Conscious shifting and all known side effects will improve your physical, mental, and spiritual health while providing the ideal environment for spiritual awakening, helping you live the life of your dreams and influence the world in a positive way. So if that's something that interests you, you'd like to be a part of it, simply follow us on Facebook or subscribe on YouTube, and then join us here Wednesday nights, 6 p.m. California time for Conscious Shifting. The way to communicate with us is through our daily thought provoking posts during a live or a replay of a live. Simply place your question in the comment box and we will respond from a spiritual perspective for the benefit of everyone. With that, let's go ahead and get started. We actually have two questions of the week this week. The first one, how do we change our karma? Please guide, especially that of past lives. The thing is that past karma is going to show up as a problem in this incarnation. So you'll have the opportunity to work with that, resolve it. Now, you may not know the difference between past life karma and karma of this life. And you don't really need to either, to be honest, because you just simply heal it the way you would anything else. Ask yourself what there is to be understood from it. Often, forgiveness is required. That's what the holdup is. And when you gain what there is to understand from it, and you accept that, and then you live that higher truth, you release the associated toxic energy. You rise in consciousness and you transcend the associated karma. So that's how you deal with it. And it doesn't really matter whether when you got it, who you got it from, you still process it the same way. The healing's still done. In fact, you know, in the case of past life karma you were talking about specifically, when you release that toxic energy, it's like you're sending out um, energetic commands into the past and healing all of that for you, your ancestors, and everybody involved. So it's a pretty big deal, but you don't really have to understand the past karma. Just recognize when problems come up in your life. It could be from that, it could be from this incarnation. Doesn't really matter. You still approach it the same way. The second question of the week was, um, he said, "Damn, I'm 70 years later and find myself feeling frustrated that I have to say sorry for someone else's doing that still affect my mental well-being. What is it they call it? Oh yeah, PTSD. The damage is so deep it keeps resurfacing. Perhaps it's something that needs to be addressed. But no matter how many help aid paths I've taken, it still shadows me." So, yeah, people have difficulty learning to let go, so they continue to suffer. That's what's going on. And forgiveness for human imperfections and pain projected onto others will help bring the peace that you long for. Now, in some cases, a good grief counselor can help. I only help people with things from a spiritual perspective. I'm not a psychologist, I'm not an MD. I don't do that kind of clinical stuff. Always from a spiritual perspective. But what I can tell you is that things that cut really deep require more healing. Um, the damage actually occurs on a physical level. And that's where the root of the problem exists. However, healing occurs on a spiritual level, and that's what I help people with. That that healing, not medical treatments or cures or psychotherapy, but spiritual healing. In other words, what I'm saying is that the same level of consciousness or beliefs that created the problem cannot solve the problem. So forgiveness is a spiritual practice for healing. It's not condoning hurtful behavior, only understanding that spiritually unconscious people do horrible things as they project their pain. So keep choosing to see things from this higher perspective. It's the people that are doing this don't understand what they're doing, or they wouldn't do it. It's not really who they are anyway. It's just simply their pain. They're damaged, and that's how it's coming up in them. They're projecting it onto others. So when you see people this way, it makes it easier to forgive, because it's not their essence that's doing it anyway. It's their damage, their hurt, their pain. It doesn't mean that, again, that you're condoning what they're doing, but it's just that you understand. So the deeper the cut, the more times that you'll probably have to remind yourself of this until finally you reprogram your beliefs, and then you'll be able to let go of all that toxic energy. And remember that nothing in this world can change who or what you are. Nothing. All right. Good questions for this week. Let's go ahead and get started. I see Kathy and Kim and Cheryl and Susan and Nellie and Trey and Christina. All right. Welcome, everybody. Let's get into a nice, relaxed state. Take a deep breath way down to the belly button or just below it. And then as you exhale, relax. Just let the tension go. Another big, deep breath. And relax. Let go of all troublesome thoughts, all disease, all toxicity. And one more time, big, deep breath. And relax. All right, feeling better? Let's go ahead and get started. The topic this week is death of the false self. It actually comes out of the second book, Rise. That's where you'll find this if you want to check into this deeper. So you don't just get over truly traumatic events. Trauma cannot heal trauma. So what you need to do then is learn to come to terms with it. You can't undo it. Resistance doesn't work. So you have to come to terms with it. And then what you can do is transform trauma into something that you can live with. It becomes part of your life experience, your story. And at the same time, it's something that you transcend. Your story becomes that you overcame this.